everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Cubworks LL with you, and welcome to the Cubworks Workshop. Well, okay, not really. Anyway, this is the video explaining everything that you saw in the video, modified Parkzone, you know, upgraded power system, all that fun stuff. And I'll post this as a video response. This is just going to explain everything that I have in the plane, and at the end of the video I said that nothing was stock, and that is indeed true. So we'll just go through the various parts here and try and move along because there's quite a bit. And to start off with, we'll have a look at the motor, so I'll just take the cowl off. Okay, here it is. This is E-Flite's Power 10 motor system, and I don't actually have the box with me right now, but that's the name of the thing. And this spinner comes with the motor that you see right here, and this motor I'm fairly sure is putting out, well, a minimum would be in excess of 300 watts would be my guess. And the way this spinner, it's actually a really simple setup. It just goes over top of the prop shaft. Okay, here's what the spinner looks like all taken off. You see right here, when the propeller is actually in on this shaft, the tension between this bit and this bit squeezes these little, whatever you want to call them, things together onto the propeller shaft right there. Now this is a reason that it's really essential that you have a good fit for a propeller, because that tension that you're going to have and the ability to hang on to the motor shaft is really dependent on the propeller to sit over there perfectly. So that brings us to the propeller, which is an APC 12x6 electric prop, and the 12x6E, I believe what it's called. And this is like, it's very perfect for this setup, because the diameter on the inside of the shaft itself, or the shaft hole, is a perfect fit right off. And I'll try and zoom in so you can see. On the propeller here, you'll see there's hopefully an extra ring right here, which is just sort of a little rise where it widens. Unfortunately, that fits perfectly right inside this extra notch here. So it really couldn't get any better for a fit without even being modified in any way. So this is what I would definitely recommend for a propeller, APC 12x6, and it's right around perfect for performance. So then the motor is mounted by just, you can see here, this wooden block right here, which is actually screwed directly into the firewall using the old mounting plate without shaving much off, so that you still get a little bit of angle to counteract the torque. It's not, to be honest, quite enough, but it's not hard to compensate with aileron. And then the motor wires just run back in here, which will then bring us to the speed control. Okay, under here we see the receiver, speed controller, and a few servo wires and things like that. Now the speed controller is actually still stock, the 25 amp speed controller by E-Flite, so I guess I was incorrect in saying everything isn't stock, but I would actually recommend that if you do this, that you move up to a slightly bigger speed controller, like say, well, I'll have a watt meter before too long, and then I'll let you know on the video how many watts the system's actually drawing, and then I can confirm whether you should get like a 30 or a 40 amp. But anyway, I've moved the speed controller back here to try and give a more tailward CG, which is, I find, has always been an issue with this airplane. If you've owned it, you probably know too. And even now it could use more weight in the tail, but to be honest, it's not really the best 3D airplane in the world anyway, so I didn't worry too much about that. Better off just to get a better 3D airplane if that's what you're really looking for. So I just used these extensions to run from the motor, where the speed controller used to sit, up to back here, which I hollowed out a little just to fit the controller in here, and then put all the wires together and zip tied them. And buried under here you can see the Spectrum 6200, is that? I believe that's what it's called. Maybe 64. Okay, yes, it is indeed the AR 6200. And I just put the remote receiver up here, or just sits over top, which actually you'll probably notice is a different pin, because me, along with a lot of other people, were having issues with the canopy blowing open in the middle of the flight, which really is not good. There's a whole lot of drag that's created, so I just have this pin set up here, a little wooden thing with a notch in it, but you can do whatever you like for that. And that's just glued in with CA glue. So that's basically what we have underneath here. You can see on the receiver going into it, I don't have the Y harness anymore, and that was to make possible for flapper-on mixing using the high-tech HS65 servos. And the radio, which will bring us right to that, is the DX6i, which is a great multi-purpose radio, and many of you probably own it already. So I just have it set for, I should have a look.